The 1% mindset. Have you ever looked at someone at the very top of their game and wondered, why them? Why do some people become champions? Billionaires, world-class performers, while most people stay stuck in the same place year after year. It's easy to blame luck. It's easy to say, they were born rich or they're just naturally gifted. But deep down, you know that's not the full truth. The real difference is this: they think differently. They live by different rules. They choose a mindset most people never learn. They live with the 1% mindset. And if you truly want to change your life, if you want to stop just dreaming and finally start doing, you must learn to think like them. In this lesson, you're going to walk through 9 powerful rules of the 1% mindset. These rules are not complicated. You don't need a special degree, rich parents, or perfect English to use them. But they do require something most people never give: commitment, focus, and a decision to never settle for average again. Before we dive in, make a small promise to yourself that you won't just listen. You'll apply. And if you feel this message speaking to you at any point, don't just keep it inside. Hit subscribe, like this video, and share it with someone who needs it too. Let's build a community of people who think differently, grow daily, and never give up. Because this isn't just content. This is training for your future self. Let's begin. Rule 1. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Most people organize their entire life around avoiding discomfort. They avoid pain, avoid stress, avoid anything that feels hard, scary, or uncertain. They choose the easy option again and again. They choose comfort. But comfort is a trap. Comfort is the silent enemy of growth. The people who rise into that top 1% do the opposite. They run toward the challenge. They walk into the place that makes their heart race and their hands shake. They know a simple but brutal truth: growth never happens inside your comfort zone. If you always do what feels easy right now, your life will feel hard later. If you are willing to do what feels hard right now, your life will become easier later. Think about waking up early. It doesn't feel good when your alarm rings. Your bed is warm. Your eyes are heavy. Every cell in your body whispers, just 5 more minutes. But when you decide to get up anyway, you've just bought yourself time. Time to think, to plan, to move ahead while others are still asleep. It's uncomfortable, but that discomfort gives you an edge. Think about studying when you're tired. Your body wants to relax. Your mind wants mindless scrolling or entertainment. But if you pick up the book anyway, even for 20 focused minutes, you're doing what most people won't. You're training your brain to work not just when it's easy, but when it's hard. That's how mental strength is built. Even something as simple as saying no to distractions is uncomfortable. Everyone else is watching movies, scrolling for hours, going out laughing, forgetting about tomorrow. And there you are, sitting with your notebook, your laptop, your dreams. It can feel lonely. It can feel weird. But that choice over and over again builds discipline. And discipline is the foundation of success. Let's step into a real story. Michael, a student from Texas, was smart and hardworking, but he had one huge fear: public speaking. The moment he had to speak in front of others, his body betrayed him. His heart pounded. His hands shook. His voice cracked. He skipped class presentations. He even avoided job interviews because the idea of talking in front of people terrified him. One day, he realized something painful: his fear was controlling his life. So he made a decision most people never make. He chose to stop running. He joined a local public speaking group. The first time he stood up to speak, he felt his throat close. He stuttered. He forgot his lines. He sat down embarrassed, convinced everyone thought he was a joke. Most people would never go back. But Michael did. Week after week, he kept showing up. He failed in small ways again and again. He stumbled. He froze. He got feedback. He tried again. Slowly, something powerful started to shift. His voice grew steadier. His hands calmed. He began to look people in the eyes. 6 months later, the same person who once skipped interviews was confidently giving speeches to large groups. He even started helping new members handle their own fears. He turned his biggest weakness into a weapon. Not by hiding from fear, by walking straight into it. That is the 1% mindset in action. This rule touches every area of your life. Want a stronger body? You must push when your muscles burn. Want more money? You must risk hearing no and risk failing in front of others. Want to master English? You must speak when you feel shy, write when you feel clumsy, listen when your brain feels slow. Every new skill, every big goal, every great achievement asks the same question. Are you willing to feel uncomfortable for this? The 1% mindset says yes, again and again. Comfort feels good for a moment, but it quietly steals your future. Discomfort feels hard now, but it builds a better future you. So start small. Start today. Take the cold shower. Speak up in the meeting or in class. Ask that difficult question. Try that new skill. Wake up an hour earlier. Every time you choose discomfort instead of escape, you grow. You don't need to be fearless. You don't need to be perfect. You just need to be willing. Willing to feel nervous, to feel awkward, to feel unsure, because that is where your power lives. Rule 2, focus on the long game. We live in a world that worships fast. Fast food, fast internet, fast results. Everywhere you look, someone is promising overnight success. Lose weight in 7 days. Become rich in 30. Learn a language in a week. But deep down, you know anything truly valuable takes time. Real success is slow, steady, and built brick by brick. The 1% mindset understands this. They are not chasing the next quick fix. They are planting seeds for the future. They are playing the long game. When you think about the most successful people, athletes, business owners, artists, leaders, they have one thing in common: years of unseen work. Long seasons where no one clapped for them. Early mornings, late nights, thousands of quiet repetitions. They didn't quit because they didn't see instant results. They kept going long after the excitement faded, and that is what made them different. There's a powerful story about the Chinese bamboo tree that explains this perfectly. When you first plant the seed, you water it. You care for the soil. You give it sunlight. Nothing happens in the first year. You keep watering. Still nothing in the second. You keep watering. Third year, nothing. Fourth year, still nothing. Most people would walk away. They'd say, "It's dead. This is pointless." But those who understand the long game keep watering. Then, in the 5th or 6th year, something unbelievable happens. In just a few weeks, the bamboo shoots up tens of feet into the air. To the outside world, it looks like it suddenly exploded into growth. But it didn't really grow in a few weeks. It grew in those hidden years underground, building roots strong enough to support that sudden height. Success is just like that. You wake up early and study. Nobody claps. You work out day after day. Nobody sees the effort. You practice your English, make mistakes, speak slowly. People might even laugh. It can feel like nothing is happening, but something is happening inside you. You are building roots, discipline, habits, knowledge, resilience. Most people quit before the roots are ready. They stop at the very point where things were about to change. Let's bring this to your life. Imagine you're learning English. In the beginning, your mind feels slow. The words don't come. You forget vocabulary. You get lost in fast conversations. You feel stupid even though you're not. You study for a few weeks and it feels like you're going nowhere. You're tempted to say, "This just doesn't work for me." But if you keep going just 30 focused minutes a day, something shifts over months, not days. After 6 months, you understand more. After a year, you begin to speak more freely. After 2 years, people say, "Wow, your English is so good now." They see the bamboo tree. They don't see the years of roots. The same is true if you're building a business. At first, it might feel like nobody cares. No customers, no support, no money. You question yourself. You question your talent. But every failure is feedback. Every small success is a seed. You are learning how to talk to people, what they need, what works, what doesn't. One day something clicks. You get a few clients, then more. Your income grows. People suddenly say you're lucky. They see the tree. They miss the years of roots. The 1% mindset falls in love with the process, not just the trophy. They don't only chase the reward, they learn to enjoy the daily work, the reading, the practice, the repetitions, the slow improvement. If you only chase the finish line, you'll get tired and quit. But if you fall in love with the run itself, you'll keep going long enough to win. So ask yourself honestly, am I obsessed with fast results, or am I committed to the long game? If you are serious about changing your life, you must slow down inside. Stop demanding instant transformation. Trust the roots you are building. Keep showing up when nobody claps, when nobody notices, when it feels like nothing is moving, because that's exactly when the magic is building underneath the surface. By the way, if this mindset is helping you see your journey differently, take a second to tap like and subscribe. Not for me. For the future you that needs constant reminders to stay in the long game when the world is screaming. Be quick. Rule 3, own everything. No excuses. Most people have a reflex and they've practiced it all their life. Blame. When something goes wrong, they say, "It's not my fault." When they fail, they say, "I had no time," or "They didn't support me," or "The system is unfair." This is the average mindset. It looks for excuses instead of solutions. It feels good in the moment because it protects the ego, but it quietly steals your power. The 1% mindset speaks a different language. I own everything in my life. That doesn't mean they control every event. That doesn't mean life is fair. It means they take full responsibility for their response, their choices, and their next step. Because here's the truth. The moment you blame, you hand away your power. Blame turns you into a victim. You wait for the world to change instead of changing yourself. You wait for someone else to fix things instead of taking action. But when you say, "This is my responsibility," something unlocks. You stop waiting. You start moving. You become the driver of your own story. Ask yourself, when something goes wrong, what is your first thought? Whose fault is this? Or what could I have done better? That one question separates the 99% from the 1%. There's a story of a young mother named Sarah. She had a dream to go back to school and finish her degree, but her life was full. 2 small children, a husband who worked long hours, a house to manage, meals to cook, laundry, chaos. Most people in her shoes would say, "It's impossible right now, maybe later." But Sarah refused to turn her dream into an excuse. Instead of saying, "I can't," she asked, "How can I?" She looked at her day like a puzzle. Where was the hidden time? She realized the only quiet time was early in the morning. So she started waking up at 5 a.m. to study while her children slept. She reduced TV time. She used weekends not just for rest but for review. It wasn't easy. She was tired. She had moments of doubt, but she kept moving. 2 years later, she walked onto a stage in a graduation gown. She didn't just receive a piece of paper. She received proof that she could own her life. She earned confidence, self-respect, and a new future. Why? Because she stopped saying, "Look at my situation," and started saying, "Look at my choices." That is ownership. That is the 1% mindset. Think about your own goals. Do you want to become fluent in English? Do you want better health? Do you want a stronger career, more income, more impact? Now look at what you've been saying is in the way. Your parents, your boss, your country, your past, your lack of time. Some of those things are real challenges. They do make the path harder. But if you let them be the reason you do nothing, you've given your life away. You may not be responsible for what happened to you, but you are responsible for what you do next. Life will throw unfairness at you. People will disappoint you. Plans will collapse. That's reality. You can't control every storm, but you can control how you steer your ship. Imagine two people lose their job on the same day. One says, "My boss is an idiot. The company screwed me over." They complain, feel angry, and stay stuck. The other says, "This hurts, but what can I learn? What skill can I add? What's my next move?" They all update their resume, take a course, send messages, and eventually find a better job than before. Same problem. Different mindset, completely different outcome. Ownership doesn't mean you are to blame for everything. It means you choose to be in charge of how you respond. So start changing your language. Stop saying "I had no time." Start saying "I didn't make it a priority." Stop saying "they never support me." Start saying "I will build my path regardless." Stop saying "I can't." Start asking "How can I?" It feels uncomfortable at first because excuses are warm and soft, but excuses quietly kill your future. Ownership is heavy at first, but it builds strength. If you want to live with the 1% mindset, adopt this rule. Own everything. No excuses, no blame, just action. Rule 4, master your morning. Your morning is not just the start of your day. It is the steering wheel of your day. If you begin your day rushed, distracted, and unfocused, the rest of the day usually follows the same pattern. But if you begin your day calm, intentional, and powerful, you carry that energy into everything you do. The 1% treat their morning like sacred ground. Most people do the opposite. The alarm rings, they hit snooze 3 times, roll out of bed, late, grab the phone, and immediately flood their brain with messages, notifications, social media news, and other people's problems. Before they even stand up, their mind is already overloaded. They start the day reacting instead of leading, and then they wonder why they feel behind, anxious, and unfocused all day. The 1% mindset flips that script. They don't start their day by reacting to the world. They start by building themselves. While others are still sleeping, the 1% are reading, exercising, reflecting, learning, planning. They use the quiet of the morning to get ahead. You don't need a 3-hour routine. You don't need to copy anyone else. But you do need a simple rhythm that tells your brain every morning, "We are in control." Start small. Wake up just 30 minutes earlier than usual. When you open your eyes, resist the urge to touch your phone. For the first minutes of your day, give your mind silence instead of noise. Breathe deeply, let your thoughts settle. If you like, you can pray, meditate, or simply think about what kind of person you want to be today. Then pull out a notebook and write your top 3 priorities for the day. Not 10, not 20, just 3 things that, if done, would move you forward. Next, feed your mind. Read 1 page of a good book. Listen to a short, powerful lesson. Over a year, 1 page a day becomes a whole book. 1 idea a day becomes a completely different way of thinking. Finally, move your body. It doesn't have to be a gym workout. Stretch. Do a few push-ups. Take a short walk. Anything that wakes you up from the inside. These small habits stacked together can completely reshape your life because you are telling your brain every single morning, "We lead, we don't just drift." Let's look at Jessica. She used to wake up late, rush through her morning, skip breakfast, grab her phone, and run out the door stressed. Her days felt chaotic. She always felt behind. Then she decided to change one thing: how she started her mornings. She began waking up at 5:30 a.m. She used the first hour to sit in silence, write in her journal, read 5 pages of a book, and take a short walk. After just a month, she felt completely different, calmer, more organized, more focused. She said it felt like she had discovered a superpower that was hidden in plain sight. Her life didn't magically become perfect, but she began each day from a place of strength instead of panic. The secret isn't perfection. The secret is consistency. Even a 20-minute routine, if repeated day after day, can change how you think, how you feel, and how you act. Remember, your morning often starts the night before. If you stay up late scrolling or watching random videos, your morning will suffer. The 1% respect their sleep because it fuels their focus. When you own your morning, you practice self-leadership. You send yourself a message: I matter, my goals matter, my mind matters. That message repeated daily builds discipline, confidence, and inner strength. Don't let the world hijack your day before it even begins. Take control from the first minutes. Even 15 to 30 minutes of intentional time each morning can completely change the trajectory of your life. Rule 5: say no. Often, if you want to grow, you must learn one small but powerful word: no. Most people are terrified of that word. They say yes to everything: the invitations, the distractions, the endless notifications, the gossip, the pointless drama, because they don't want to upset anyone or miss out. But here's the hard truth. Every time you say yes to something, you are saying no to something else. And if you say yes to everything, you have nothing left for what truly matters. The 1% mindset understands that focus is a weapon, and focus requires boundaries. Time is limited, energy is limited, attention is limited. You cannot give all 3 to everyone and everything. So you must choose. Say yes to your dreams. And that means saying no to what kills them. If you say yes to 2 hours of random TV every night, you are saying no to reading, learning, or building something of your own. If you say yes to staying up late partying, you are saying no to waking up with energy to work on your goals. If you say yes to every chat, every notification, every distraction, you are saying no to deep focus, creativity, and progress. Successful people protect their time like it's gold, because it is. Take Jacob's story. He wanted to become a software developer, but he had a problem: he was addicted to video games. Hours disappeared every evening. It was fun. It helped him escape, but it did nothing for his goal. One day, he got brutally honest. He realized that if he didn't change, he would be in the exact same place 5 years later. So he made a hard decision. He deleted his games. He started saying no to friends who only wanted to waste time. No to endless streams of videos. No to that habit of just one more game. Instead, he opened his laptop not to play but to learn. Night after night, he practiced. He built tiny projects. He joined online communities. At first, it was boring. He missed his old habits. But he stayed with it. After a year of disciplined no, Jacob landed a remote job as a junior developer. His life changed. His income changed. His confidence changed. And it all started with the courage to say no. Saying no will feel uncomfortable at first. You might feel guilty. People might not understand. They might call you boring, change, too serious. But you are not living for their approval. You are living for your future. Saying no is not an act of disrespect. It is an act of self-respect. It's you saying, my time matters, my growth matters, my mental health matters. You don't have to say no to everything forever. Life needs joy and rest too. But when you are in a season of building, learning a new skill, improving your health, building a business, transforming your mindset, you must fiercely protect your focus. So start small. Look at your daily routine. Identify one app, one habit, or one person that drains your energy without giving you anything good in return. Cut it out for a week. Just a week. Use that time to write, read, learn, move, or plan. Feel the difference. Learn to say no politely but firmly. I have other priorities right now. I'm working on something important. Thank you, but I'll pass this time. You don't owe everyone your time. You owe yourself your best effort. Saying no is not rejection, it's redirection. You are redirecting your life away from distraction and toward purpose. If you're still here listening to this, I want you to do something powerful for your future self. Type in the comments, I choose my future over my comfort. Not for algorithm tricks, but as a small public promise that you're learning to say no to what doesn't serve you anymore. Rule 6, learn every day. There is one habit that quietly separates the average from the excellent, the good from the great, and the 99% from the 1%. They are daily learners. The 1% mindset isn't just about waking up early or grinding hard. It's about feeding your mind like it's your most precious asset, because it is. They don't let a day pass without learning something new. They read books. They listen to podcasts. They watch lessons instead of only entertainment. They take courses. They ask questions. They surround themselves with people who know more than them. Think of your brain like a muscle. If you never challenge it, it gets weak. If you push it a little every day, it gets sharp, fast, creative. We live in an age where knowledge is everywhere. You don't need to be rich. You don't need a famous university. You have lectures, tutorials, and experts in your pocket. The sad truth is most people don't use this. They use their phone to escape, not to grow. Hours disappear into scrolling gossip and noise. Then they say, nothing ever changes for me. The 1% ask a different daily question. What did I learn today? And if the answer is nothing, they don't waste another hour. They pick up a book. They open a video that teaches, not just entertains. They listen to an audiobook while they walk. Imagine you're learning English. You might think, to improve, I need hours every day. But that's not true. If you learn just one new word a day, that's 365 new words in a year. If you learn one new phrase a day, your speaking becomes more natural. If you read just one paragraph a day over time, your understanding explodes. Consistency beats intensity. There's a story about Daniel, a delivery driver. He wanted to work in tech but didn't have a degree. He could have said, "It's too late. I missed my chance." Instead, he decided to become a daily learner. During his lunch break, he watched short programming tutorials. During long drives, he listened to tech podcasts. At night, he practiced writing tiny pieces of code. He didn't study for 10 hours a day, but he showed up every day. After a year, he built a small project and showed it to a startup. They saw his effort and potential and hired him as a junior developer. He didn't change his life through luck. He changed it through learning. You might say, I don't have time. The truth, you do. You're just giving it away to things that don't build you. Turn waiting time into learning time. When you're on the bus, in a line, taking a walk, your phone can be a classroom or a toy. You decide. And don't limit learning to your job. Learn about communication, health, relationships, money, creativity, emotional intelligence. The more you understand, the better decisions you make in every area of life. Real learning requires humility. You have to accept that you don't know all to everything. You have to be willing to be a beginner again and again. Ask questions that make you feel a little stupid. Try things you might fail at. That's where growth lives. So again, what did you learn today? If your answer is nothing yet, that's okay. But don't let the day end that way. Read one page. Watch one meaningful lesson. Learn one word. Small steps repeated daily create a mind that can handle big opportunities. Rule 7. Build discipline, not dependence on motivation. Motivation is beautiful, but it's unreliable. Some days you wake up full of fire. You feel unstoppable. You watch a powerful video, hear an inspiring speech, and you're ready to conquer the world. Then the next day comes. You're tired. You're stressed. You don't feel like it. If your entire life strategy depends on waiting until you feel motivated, you'll never build anything big. The 1% don't rely on motivation. They build something stronger: discipline. Motivation is a mood. Discipline is a decision. Discipline means you do what needs to be done, whether you feel like it or not. You're tired, but you still train. You're busy, but you still study. You're frustrated, but you still show up. That's the difference between people who start strong and people who finish strong. Take Tom, for example. He wanted to lose weight and get healthy. At the start, he was full of excitement. He bought new workout clothes. He made a training plan. He watched fitness content and imagined his new body. For the first 2 weeks, he was perfect. Healthy food, daily workouts, tons of motivation. Then life happened. A hard day at work. Rainy weather, soreness, stress. He didn't feel like going to the gym. He wanted comfort food. He wanted the couch. This is the point where most people quit. They say, "I'll start again next week," but next week doesn't come. Tom chose something different. He understood that his feelings were temporary, but his goals were long-term. He made a promise to himself: "I will show up even on the days I don't want to." That's discipline. He went to the gym even when he was tired. Maybe the workout wasn't perfect, but he showed up. He stuck to his meal plan even when he craved junk food. He stopped asking his feelings for permission. 6 months later, he was stronger, leaner, and more confident. He didn't get there because he always felt motivated. He got there because he was disciplined when motivation disappeared. Discipline is hard in the beginning, but it gives you freedom later. Motivation feels great in the beginning, but if you depend on it, you stay stuck. Think of discipline as a muscle. At first, it feels weak. Lifting it is heavy. Saying no to old habits feels almost impossible. But each time you keep a promise to yourself, that muscle grows. Soon, waking up early feels normal. Studying becomes part of who you are. Exercising is just something you do, like brushing your teeth. You don't have to be perfect. You just have to be consistent. On days when you can't do an hour, do 15 minutes. When you can't run, walk. When you can't study chapters, study 1 page. The key is simple. Don't break the chain. Keep the habit alive. There will be bad days. There will be days you fail. Discipline doesn't mean you never fall. It means you never decide to stay on the ground. You don't let one bad day become a bad week, or a bad week become a bad month. One powerful way to build discipline is to make a small daily promise to yourself. Something clear and realistic: I will read for 10 minutes. I will not skip my morning routine. I will write at least 1 paragraph. Then keep that promise every day. Over time, you stop seeing yourself as someone who tries. You start seeing yourself as someone who shows up. That identity is powerful. So the next time you catch yourself saying, "I don't feel like it," stop. Don't ask, "Am I motivated?" Ask, "What would a disciplined person do right now?" Then do that. Rule 8. Surround yourself with winners. You become like the people you spend the most time with. Not immediately, but slowly, quietly, day by day. If your environment is full of people who complain, avoid work gossip, and waste time, you will slowly begin to do the same, even if you swear you won't. If your environment is full of people who learn, build, grow, and move forward, you will rise to meet them. The 1% mindset pays extreme attention to one thing: environment. Your environment is not just where you live. It's who you listen to, who you talk to, what you watch, what you read, what you allow into your mind. Think of yourself as a seed. No matter how much potential is inside you, if you plant yourself in dry, toxic soil, it will be hard to grow. In rich, healthy soil, growth becomes natural. Many people stay around the wrong people because they're scared to be alone. They think, at least I have some company. Being alone would feel terrible. But sometimes the most powerful thing you can do for your future is to step away from people who are holding you back. It may feel lonely at first. That's okay. Use that space to build yourself. Read. Watch powerful content. Study. Reflect. Train. Pray. Learn. You can create an invisible circle of mentors through books, videos, podcasts, and courses. Let people who think bigger than you shape your thoughts. Let their words become the voice in your head instead of negativity. Take Leo's story. He was stuck in a friend group that skipped class, mocked ambition, and spent all their time gaming and joking. Deep down, he wanted more, but he stayed afraid of losing his friends. One day, he heard a quote that hit him like a slap. You are the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with. He looked at his life and realized that if nothing changed, he would become exactly like the people he was with. Bitter, unmotivated, stuck. So he made a hard decision. Slowly, quietly, he reduced his time with that group. He didn't hate them. He just knew he needed a different environment. He started watching videos of people who talked about business, personal growth, and discipline. He joined online groups where people shared goals instead of gossip. At first, it felt lonely. He missed the easy laughter and the mindless fun. But after a few months, he noticed something. His thoughts were different. His energy was different. He was thinking about projects, not just games. Eventually, Leo started a small online business. He didn't become a different person overnight, but changing his environment changed his direction. You might not be able to change everything around you immediately, but you can start making small shifts. Spend a little less time with people who drain you. Spend a little more time with people who challenge you or inspire you, even if it's through a screen. Change what plays in your ears: more learning, less noise. Also, be honest with yourself. What kind of person are you in other people's circle? Do you pull them up or drag them down? Be the kind of friend who encourages, supports, and pushes others to grow. Winners attract winners. Your environment is not just your friends. It's the conversations, the media you consume, the music, the jokes, the beliefs you allow into your mind. Make sure your environment is feeding your future, not poisoning it. If this video is becoming part of your winner environment and you want more content that pulls you up, not down, make it official. Subscribe, turn on the bell, and let this channel be part of your daily circle. Rule 9. Never let failure define you. This is the final rule, and it might be the most important. Everyone loves success. Everyone loves winning applause and approval. But the path to any meaningful success is never straight. It is full of wrong turns, rejections, mistakes, and painful moments. Most people meet failure and decide that's the end. The 1% meet failure and decide it's the beginning of something new. Failure is not who you are. Failure is feedback. Every successful person you admire has a history of failure behind them. Champions lose games. Entrepreneurs lose money. Creators release work that nobody notices. Leaders make decisions that don't work. What separates the 1% is not that they never fall. It's that they never decide that's who I am now. They refuse to let failure become their identity. Take Ethan, a young entrepreneur with big dreams. At 22, he started his first business. He was full of ideas and passion. 6 months later, the business collapsed. He lost money and felt humiliated. Most people in that situation would say, "Maybe I'm not cut out for this." Ethan felt that pain, but he didn't stop. He started a second business. He planned more carefully, learned from his mistakes, and worked harder. It failed again. Then a third attempt, another failure. By this point, almost anyone else would have given up. 3 failures are heavy to carry. But Ethan told himself something powerful. These failures are events, not my identity. So he kept going. On his 4th attempt, things finally clicked. The business grew. It began to help thousands of people. Years later, people saw him as a success story. What changed? Not his luck, not his intelligence, his refusal to let failure define him. Failure only becomes permanent when you quit. If you keep moving, failure becomes a teacher, not a prison. Think of it like the gym. When you lift weights, your muscles get tiny tears. That damage is necessary. When your body repairs those tears, your muscles grow back stronger. Failure works the same way on your character. It stings. It can break your pride. But if you let it teach you, instead of destroy you, you become stronger, humbler, sharper. Most people fear failure because they attach it to their identity. I failed turns into I am a failure, but those are not the same sentence. You are not your last test result, your last job, your last mistake, or your last breakup. You are the choices you make after those things. Your past is a chapter, not your whole book. History is full of people who failed repeatedly before success, authors rejected again and again, inventors told they were foolish, innovators laughed at for their ideas. Yet they kept going. You will fall. You will make bad decisions. You will say things you regret. You will start things that don't work out. That's part of being human. The key is what you do afterward. Do you stay down, repeat the story of your failure to yourself, and never try again? Or do you stand up, breathe, and tell yourself, "This is not how my story ends"? Your next decision is always more powerful than your last mistake. Don't be afraid to try. Don't be afraid to fall. Be more afraid of never trying at all. Be more afraid of living a small life because you were terrified of looking stupid. The people who rise to the top are not the ones who never get hurt. They are the ones who keep moving with scars. Final thoughts: build the 1% mindset. Now you've walked through the 9 rules of the 1% mindset. These aren't just nice ideas. They are daily practices. They are choices you make again and again until they become part of who you are. Let's breathe them in one more time. Get comfortable being uncomfortable. Growth lives beyond your comfort zone. The more you face what scares you, the stronger you become. Focus on the long game. Stop chasing fast results. Plant seeds, build roots, and trust the process over years, not days. Own everything. No excuses. Take responsibility for your next step. Your power grows every time you stop blaming and start acting. Master your morning. Start the day with intention, not distraction. Win the first hour, and you tilt the rest of the day in your favor. Say no often. Protect your time and energy. Every no to distraction is a yes to your future. Learn every day. Your mind is your greatest tool. Feed it with knowledge instead of noise. Grow a little every single day. Build discipline, not dependence on motivation. Show up whether you feel like it or not. Let your actions lead and your feelings will follow. Surround yourself with winners. Choose an environment that lifts you up instead of pulling you down. Let your circle reflect the future you want, not the past you're leaving. Never let failure define you. Let it shape you, teach you, strengthen you, but never let it decide who you are. These rules are simple. They're not always easy. They ask for effort, courage, and consistency. But you don't have to live them perfectly. Nobody does. The difference between the 99% and the 1% is not perfection. It's the decision to start, to keep going, to take one more small step even when it feels pointless. Right now, you might be thinking, I'm not ready, I don't have time. What if I fail? Those thoughts are normal. The 1% mindset doesn't erase fear. It moves forward with fear in the passenger seat, not in the driver's seat. Start where you are, with what you have. Wake up 10 minutes earlier. Read one page today. Say no to one distraction. Do one small thing that your future self will thank you for. Your future self is already waiting for you, the stronger, calmer, more confident you. But that version of you can't appear if you refuse to move. Every choice you make today is a vote for the person you're becoming. So treat this moment like the starting line of a new race, not against anyone else, but against your own limits. You may feel nervous. You may feel uncertain. That's okay. Every champion, every winner, every 1% person once stood exactly where you are now, unsure, afraid, but willing. If this message lit something inside you, don't let it die when the video ends. Make a commitment. Subscribe to this channel so you can keep feeding your mind with content that pushes you higher. Hit like so you remember this moment as the moment you chose a different path. And share this with someone who needs to be reminded that their story is not over. In the comments, write one sentence: I'm building my 1% mindset. Let it be a promise to yourself, a line you can come back to when you feel like quitting. Be patient with yourself. Be kind but firm. Celebrate the small wins. Learn from every setback. And always remember, your best days are not behind you. They're ahead. You are closer than you think. The 1% mindset is not a gift for a chosen few. It's a choice available to anyone willing to work for it, including you. Your journey to the top doesn't start one day. It starts now. Keep moving forward. You've got this.